Welcome to my channel. Enjoy this video and subscribe my channel. After watching Reacher Season 3's finale, I am convinced that the series has delivered one of the best television fight sequences of all time. From its opening moments, Reacher Season 3 tries to set itself apart from its predecessors by following a unique storytelling format. It initially shows Reacher acting completely out of character, only to later reveal that he has been working undercover for the DEA. As the season unfolds, flashbacks also reveal that, as always, Jack Reacher has personal stakes in the central case because the main villain, Xavier Quinn, had killed his MP colleague, Dominique Cole, instead of making its villains look like regular cannon fodder for Reacher to easily dispose of. Season 3 shows how imposing they can be. While Quinn seems scary because of his mercilessness and lack of empathy, his henchman, Paulie, comes off as a worthy competitor for Alan Ritchson's Jack Reacher because of his massive stature. Reacher Season 3 waits until its finale to feature a much-awaited showdown between the hero and villains. However, when it finally does, it is well worth it. I don't know how, but Reacher vs. Paulie actually lived up to the hype. Reacher Season 3 kept building up to its Paulie vs. Reacher fight scene from its opening episodes. As soon as Paulie was introduced as one of Reacher Season 3's main villains, it was evident that Reacher would have to face him ultimately. The show first gives a glimpse of the two characters' strengths by featuring a scene where Paulie challenges Reacher to a bench press competition. Realizing that Paulie is much bigger than him, Reacher declines the offer and puts his intelligence on display by tricking Paulie into punching himself. Paulie shows what he is capable of doing in Season 3's Episode 5 when one smack from him makes Reacher fall to the ground, proving he is far stronger than the Alan Ritchson character. With so many solid scenes from Reacher Season 3 paving the way for the final battle between the two titans, it was hard not to be concerned about whether the fight would actually live up to the hype. Surprisingly, the fight not only meets one's high expectations but also defies them. Since Season 1, Reacher has delivered many compelling action sequences in which the titular character shows how his raw strength and sheer size advantage against his enemies is often enough for him to overpower them. Arguably, Season 1's prison showdown remained the best fight sequence in the series even after Season 2. Paulie and Reacher's fight to death in Season 3, however, easily surpasses the prison sequence in terms of both fight choreography and viewer engagement. Reacher vs. Paulie was wild, but avoided jumping the shark since Jack Reacher seldom struggles to take his enemies down in one-on-one fistfights. His fights rarely last more than 2 minutes. However, the Reacher vs. Paulie sequence just keeps going on and on as the two giants refuse to give up while duking it out like men. Reacher gets thrown around by Paulie and even gets slammed onto a table. However, he keeps getting back up to fight again. Paulie, on the other hand, takes many brutal blows to his face but almost seems unbothered by most of Reacher's attacks. To highlight how Paulie is unlike anyone Reacher has previously faced, Reacher Season 3 keeps their brawl long and grueling. Surprisingly, however, even though the fight has a fair share of over-the-top moments, it never extends a viewer's suspension of disbelief too far. The fight almost borders on ridiculousness when Paulie somehow defies death and returns after Reacher nearly drowns him to death. However, the scene's absurdity only improves the fight's overall stakes by highlighting how Reacher is not beating Paulie so easily.